All right, here we go. Got this down to a science. How's everyone doing? MJ here, waiting for the notifications to go out. Took my mask off. We're in Taichung, and I'll talk about it in just a minute. This is a park. I don't even know what the name of the park is. I didn't look. Didn't look at all. But let me go ahead and check and see if I need to press the start button. No, it says end stream. Yeah, it says we're live. So, here we go. Yeah, finally. All right. We are on the air, guys. It just took a minute, I think, for the, live on my channel. Here you go. Yeah, I'm not sure how much of that I just said is going to actually make it into the, how much of that kind of make it to the live stream. There we go. Let me turn this off. So I got my comments already. So here we go. Tonight I'm drinking, I was drinking some stuff earlier, but I have my favorite beer, actually, Kirin Ichiban. And yeah, starting tomorrow, because it's Monday, I've got about 3 weeks until we leave on our trip. And I am going on another massive fast before I go. Because I always feel better when I do. I feel better when I have done a massive fast and lose some weight, you know. It's actually good. Let me go over here a little bit. Move the pocket 3 here. So this is a nice little park in metropolitan Taichung. Now the thing is, everybody knows the word Taiwan, but it's really Taiwan, and Tai means like a platform. Tai is also a measure word for things like computers. Say one computer, you would say "yi tai dianao." But everybody knows Taipei, right? So it's Taipei. Bei means north. Taichung, zhong means central. That's where this is, and this is the central part of Taiwan. And Tainan, nan means south, and it is in the south part. It's just actually the next city up above Kaohsiung. So yeah, we're right in the middle. Some have called this the California of Taiwan. I'm not sure that I share in that sentiment, but it definitely, it's hot and it's kind of interesting here, but Taichung is known a lot for gangsters and trouble, but it's also, you know, one of the big cities here, and it's actually not that bad. I got some cool stuff. I don't know if you can see this. I got a little hood. The hood clips on the screen of the Pocket 3 and makes a sunshade, because I'm so glad somebody made this, because, you know, it's just a flat little screen, and in the daytime there's so much glare on it that it's really hard to see. And oh, Passion, how you doing? Passion Puppy says, good evening. Thank you. Fist bump. I didn't see you. Sorry, I had my device, my phone sitting down. I'm gonna take this off, let it, phone's getting kind of hot. But yeah, so this is gonna help. I used it out in the sun, it helped a lot, because I'm gonna be doing some filming outside. And this got a nice little silicone pad around it. It slips over the screen. And the cool part about it is you can still flip it around, but you can't put it back in the case like that. So how you doing, Passion? What's going on? How's everything? We're using the Pocket 3, the DJI Mic 2 with noise reduction, and we're using the black mist filter also. Lots of people walking by tonight. It's actually not too bad of a night. Hey, see, Bud says Taichung was his home for 2 hours, totaling 27 months in Taichung at CCK Air Force Base. CCK, you know, I don't know what that is. Oh, CKS, that'd be, you know, Chiang Kai-shek, but that was in the north. But yeah, CCK, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah. And it's funny because one of my biggest studio clients, the longest studio clients, Robert Monahan, was also stationed in Taichung, which was really nice. pretty interesting. He has some pictures of that time, you know, and it was really interesting looking at those pictures. So Uncle Bud, if you have, you know, some photographs of that time, I like reading the signs, and like he showed me a couple of, Robert showed me a couple of photos, and they had like the like the Thai Power Company and stuff behind, you know. It was pretty interesting watching that. Oh, Passion Puppy, yes, that's right. New and first granddaughter. Yeah, that's the one that you helped deliver, or maybe not help. Maybe you were the one that delivered the baby. That's so cool. Hope to get back to Israel. Yeah, well, I hope you can too, because boy, you know, they grow up so fast. Even today, I was looking at my daughter. She's 11. Chinquan Kang. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know, that's an old spelling. I'm gonna have to look that up and see, because Rob and I are, you know, Rob's mainly the research guy. I'm the you know, the field guy. We're both field guys, but he probably already knows everything there is to know about that, knowing him about that particular airfield. But if it's not there anymore, we'd like to go find out where it was. That'd be pretty cool. Still got to be there. Still there? Yeah. Okay. Good. Taichung. Okay. Because one of the things we have, probably after I get back from my trip. Rob's going on a trip too, but probably after I get back from my trip, we're going to do a live stream together. We may actually have time to do a live stream together before we go on our separate trips. But my daughter is 11, actually. Passion, she's 11, and I know it seems like it's very close, right? But she's already taller than mommy, and she grows up so fast. She's growing up so incredibly fast that I just. Wow, and she's so good at things, you know, and her music is just amazing. Her ear training, and I want to hold her on my lap. I want to, you know, she's too big. I walk down the street, you know, with her now, and my neighbors are going, "Hey, he's cheating on his wife." I said, "No, it's my daughter." And they're like, "No, your daughter's." And I said, "No, this is her." Crazy. What I'm getting at with the, I'm glad you also mentioned in the comments. Yes, you were the one that delivered. I remember you saying that. I think it's amazing, and you know what a privilege to be able to do that. You know, with your own daughter and granddaughter. That must. I mean, I can't imagine how you must, you know, feel about that. That's really amazing. Yeah, it does. It does. Because you guys remember. I mean, when I first started live streaming on Periscope. Was 2015. She was not even 3 years old yet. And so it seems like, what's funny is the live streaming part seems like a long time ago, but for her to be 3 seems like yesterday. It's weird. It's all relative, right? And I was just looking a couple of days ago at some of the old live streams where she joined me. There were 3 in particular. And the funny thing is, the one where she's the youngest, she's looking at the camera, you know, and she's going and hamming it up. It's so cute. And then I was reading Frog and Toad. What a great book! What a great book series. And the other one that we did were she was doing origami, and then we actually did one with a studio show using the green screen. That was pretty cool. So I talked to her about doing another one. You know how kids are. She's kind of, I don't know. I'll have to get her own mic. If I let her use the JS1 tube, the big tube mic, and I use the pink one, I think I can get her to do a live stream with me, studio-wise with the, you know, green screen. But what I was saying to you, Uncle Bud, was Rob probably already knows everything there is to know about that airfield, but we're going to try to do a live stream together before we leave on our respective trips. If that doesn't happen, we're going to do it very shortly after. But he and I that doesn't matter, because we're in touch every other day or so, almost every day, talking about different. Hey, Rob, how's it going? Yeah, your ears must be burning. Rob, what I'm saying is that you and I, you know, virtually every day are talking about different subjects, you know, related to our our upcoming attempt at doing a video, and we have several themes in mind already. We have with us today Bud Johnson. Rob, he's a longtime supporter of mine from way back when. He's in Texas, and he was I'm in Taichung right now, and he was actually stationed in Taichung, and he named the if you look at the comments, he named the airfield CCK. And passion puppy, I understand. Yeah, overwhelming. This is like how you put this. All my studies, it was worth every second. Yes, of course it was. You see that? A couple was walking on. I'm under kind of a trellis. A couple was walking up, and they came up behind me without a sound. And my first instinct was, something, I don't know. This is Taiwan, totally safe. I checked that real quick. And they just walked by. It turned out to be a couple. I didn't see, out of my peripheral vision, I could not detect that it was two people. It was one person, but it's a couple holding hands. Yeah, Taiwan is so safe and so cool. Right now, the local time is 0:24. So, yeah, 24 minutes after midnight. So Uncle Bud's saying his first tour was December 69 to March 71. And you did 2 tours. Okay, so after March 71, where did you go from there? And when did you come back in Taiwan? Wow, 27 months. That's pretty cool. So December. Okay. So December, excuse me. December, okay, so that was a year, and yeah. Not a bad tour. December, and then 3 months into March, and then a year, so. Unless I can't count, which I probably can't, that was 16 months for that. A total of 27, so. Mike, how you doing? Fist bump, good to see you. So, Rob and I were talking, it's kind of funny because Rob is and this is not a secret, he talks about this, we talked about this in the live stream. He's a Swissy UK citizen. He's, a Swiss-born Brit. I guess that's how you would say it. And he was watching the UK versus Switzerland in international football, what we would call soccer in the United States. Well, I can't say we because I don't live there, but yeah. And it was hilarious because, UK and Switzerland are playing soccer. I told him, I go, either way, you win. It's like, but here's what's so funny, what struck me. Of course, it's on at a time that's not, advantageous for this part of the world, right? And he was staying up super late watching it. But I was like, 30 years ago, I would have popped in a VHS tape, and I would have just turned I would have used the program on the front of it, and I would have just told it to record. How do we get away from that? There were digital DVD recorders for a while. I had one from Light On. It was a really, really nice one. But then one day I turned it on and just busted, stopped working. And so, yeah, who has DVRs? How many people have a video recording device in their home now, like for recording TV? See, we have so much VOD, video on demand, that anytime you want to watch a movie, you don't have to wait for it to come on like you had to do with HBO or something, or a TV show. So Uncle Bud says he went from, his first tour ended in March 71. He went to Little Rock and then Sacramento. Then he was back to Taichung in 73 until 1975 when the U.S. moved out. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that corresponds to the UN switching recognition from from the Republic of China to the People's Republic of China, I think. So yeah, looks like Passion Puppy's familiar with that. That's cool. This is hilarious. Rob says, apart from when the game goes, the penalties, yep, and then nobody's happy. Well, that's true. That's right. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with it at all. And I'm not being critical. I don't understand sports or watching sports. I've never watched sports. I have never watched a football game of any type from start to end. I think I have maybe seen a couple of basketball games, maybe once or twice, like from the beginning to the end, but I didn't pay attention all the way. I saw the Harlem Globetrotters. I mean, that's not really a basketball game. It was a lot of fun. But, that was a lot of antics. That was hilarious. But a friend of mine named Dave in Boston, before the Boston Garden went under, it got demolished and rebuilt. I think they call it the Fleet Center, right? And the I guess it was about 8 or 9 months or so before the Boston Garden, before they decked it, there was the last Boston Celtics game, and my friend Dave had 2 tickets, and they were like 3 rows back from the floor. I mean, they're really, really close, right? And he couldn't have picked like a worse person to bring. I'm glad that he thought highly of me. He's asked me, "Have you ever been to a Celtics game?" I was like, "No, never." He says, "Well, you want to go? The Garden's going to shut down." And I was thinking, well, okay. I mean, for historical purposes, it was amazing. Everybody was like standing up and jumping up, and I'm sitting in my seat. I'm going, "Well, you guys sit down. I can't see anything." He's like, "Well, you got to stand up." I stand up, and every time, I guess it's called a free throw or something, where like the opposing team had an opportunity to throw, the ball into the basket unopposed. There was always some cracker, behind the backstop, throwing his hat in the air, trying to distract him. I was like, why don't they go over there and smack that guy? It's like, don't they believe in a level playing field? I mean, what's he doing? What is a fan doing trying to interfere with the game? I was like, I can't understand this, and I can't understand the passion. Places I work, they come in, they go, "Hey, we won." I'm like, "Really? What'd you win?" We won, so I didn't realize you were on a baseball team, in addition, to being on the marketing department of this company. And it's like, but let them lose, and then it's like they lost. So, any updates on the States trip? The updates, no, Matthew, it's firm. We will be in the U.S. from July 28th until August 24th. That's firm. So Mike's asking, what kind of microphone is necessary to make powered bookshelf speakers into a PA system? The speakers have 3.5 millimeter input jacks. You are going to be in a world of trouble if you plug something in there. The problem is 3.5 millimeter jacks the only kind of mic that would plug into there that's like off the shelf that you just buy would be like some kind of a lab mic or an electric condenser. It would require a power supply, and that 3.5 millimeter jack does not provide power for the condenser mic. So you would have to have some other kind of mic and, an adapter to adapt it, but you have to, the power's wrong idea. Don't do it. It's just too much trouble. The powered speakers are expecting line level inputs. So whatever you use for a microphone, you're going to have to preamplify it. You're going to have an external mixer or external mic preamp. It's a lot of trouble, and unless you know what you're doing, you're going to spend money, buy the wrong thing. You're going to be disappointed. If you really need a little PA system, go rent one. Go get or go buy one. Like if you have like a lot of parties at your house and you want like some patio speakers or something, go get a Yamaha Stage Pass. They're fine. The speaker cabinets are not that big. The speakers are not powered. The amplifier is. The amplifier is small. It's so small it fits inside one of the speakers when you're not using it. Get a couple stands, some cables. Otherwise, you're not even going to be able to control it. You know, I mean, you don't want to have to run over to the powered speakers and turn one down, and turn the other one down and try to match. No. And you want to do that in the front end with the mixer. And yeah. So the fact that they have 3.5 millimeter inputs, I mean, that's all they got. It's not a professional system, so that's the problem. So, yep. Rob is dead on. Never underestimate how much preamp you're going to need. Going small. Yep. There are certain things in life that you can't cheap out on. And, you know, you can try it, but you might be disappointed. So, Coco, if you're in the background listening, to answer your question, Matthew, I've been talking with Coco a little bit. I don't know why we're having trouble connecting online and getting to where we, you know, I want to get her back in the late night group. I sent her several links and things, but I think she's super busy. But I mean, I can reach her on email. That's no problem. But I don't know what it is. I just can't get her to, you know, middle of August. Okay, wow, that would be absolutely amazing. So I'm just gonna have to be, I guess, a little more proactive and not. I mean, I don't mean to pressure her, but I mean just to, you know, be more proactive and try to see if we could maybe come up with an idea that would work. Now, my sister Nancy and her husband Tom are building a house somewhere in South Carolina. I don't know where it is, but it's not finished. Well, it may be nearly finished. At any rate, there may be some land there. Who knows? See, this is why we have to have these discussions, because, you know, could end up being like a giant camping meet out or something. Camping meetup. That would be interesting. Everybody, you know, brings a tent and stuff. So I don't even see this park behind me, but it's pretty big. It's big enough to play some games. But that's what I was trying to say. I don't get the passion for sports. And when I was in high school, I mean, I went from elementary school in St. Pete, Florida, to Henrico High School, where it was 7th through 12th grade. I mean, I was in 7th grade. I went from the elementary school to a school. I was going to school with guys who shaved. Crazy. And yeah, I'm in homeroom. I don't know what any of this stuff is. I was so out of my element. I come from St. Pete, Florida, and I went to this place in Virginia, right? I understand. Rob has been in the studio all day. He's been really busy, and yeah, that's how it is. So take care. Fist bump, bro. Yeah, we'll catch up. And maybe we can do something together this week, or not. I don't know. But I have some studio work to do myself. I gotta finish. But yeah, so, gosh, you won't hear me say this too often, but I think I lost my train of thought. Okay, so break time. All right, I didn't know what any of these things were. I was in homeroom, and they were like, "It's time for a pep rally." I'm like, "What? It's time for a pep rally?" I never heard of a pep rally. And I went there, and the stands, you know, all the other 7th graders around me, they're, you know, they seem to know when to stand up and cheer. They know like what to say, like these school phrases, and they're like, they know the names of the teams, and then, you know, this team comes by and they're screaming all this stuff. I'm like, the whole time I'm going, what are you guys like? What are you doing? And what's the, yeah, step 2 exactly. What's the point? What's the purpose of all this? This is Kirin Ichiban. This is the point I mean, what is the point? What's the purpose of all this? I know, you know. And then when I was in, was that? I forget. I tried to erase most of my younger days from my memory, but my dad had a Polaroid camera. It still makes me mad. It got stolen from me. 1958. Land Polaroid. Unbelievable. And I got some film and I shot some shots at one of the football games they were having, you know, and I just wanted to experiment and try it. I was really trying to sort of understand what they were doing and why. And I realized that the photography just didn't help, so I didn't, you know. So, yeah, I just, in my personal life, I have eliminated all references to sports. I have no sports channels on my TV. I don't have any subscriptions to sports channels or anything. I never see sports. The only thing that I think might be a little bit interesting is Taiwan's baseball team, and my wife likes Taiwan baseball, and my daughter likes Taiwan baseball. My daughter actually likes basketball, and I feel bad because most dads will play basketball with their kids, but I don't know how to play basketball. I never played it. Yeah, I'm a guitar player, you know, not a basketball player. But sometimes my wife in Phoenix will watch basketball, baseball, and I'll watch a little bit of it. I've asked them, you know, do you want to go to a baseball game? Because baseball in Taiwan is a real trip. It's a lot different. They kind of pattern after the Japanese style games and the Japanese cheerleaders and stuff. It's kind of fun. But yeah, other than that, what I like about Taiwan is if you want something to be a vacuum, you pretty much can, although it's changing. Like, for example, one of the reasons that I really, really liked living in Taiwan is that I got away from holidays, because I don't like holidays. I don't like Halloween. I don't like Christmas. I don't like Thanksgiving. I don't like these holidays. I don't like them at all. I got nothing but terrible bad memories, and I just, you know, they're related to things that have nothing to do with me, and I don't want to, you know. But now, more and more Western traditions are being, you know, adopted here. And like now, oh my gosh, the mall, I can't get away from the Christmas music. And there are some places like Mossberger that play Christmas music in the summer. And to me, it's just, I want to get away from it. But for the longest time, initially, Taiwan was really good because you could get away from all that. Like people say, oh, it's the World Series. Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't hear about it. It's great. Or, you know, or what do they call it? The Super Bowl, the other one. Oh, it's great. I don't know anything about the Super Bowl. Don't want to know anything about it. And so I never heard about it. So am I planning any trips anywhere else? You mean within the States? Actually not. I was kind of going to play that by ear. I wanted to land and see what's up. My brother's going to come up for a weekend. I haven't seen him for a decade. You know, my two sisters, other family members are going to come and visit, and I wanted to just kind of wait and see how that played out. We can certainly, you know, rent a car or fly or do whatever. I'm having some work done, excuse me, on a very special vintage guitar amplifier that I acquired from Ray Violet from the Jesters of Destiny. He gave it to me as a gift. And by the way, they came out with an album last year that was just, the engineering on it is incredible. And Ray did the engineering, it's amazing. But he gave me a Red Mirror Soloist, which is the world's first modeling amplifier ever produced. It's vintage, and it's Roger Waters uses them. He's the only guy left using them. I'm having it rebuilt, refurbished, and some repair work done on it, and it's going to be done in the Boston area. I haven't decided if I'm going to go up there or not. I'd like to see the gentlemen that are working on it, but I may not, just may not have time to. I thought Todd was going to be on tour during that time, and if he was, I would probably travel to one of the places and see if I could hook up with him, but he's not, so yeah. I don't know what he's doing. He's probably going to be, you know, in Hawaii. So Matthew, I just kind of have to see. And if, you know, if your family is around and you're traveling, you know, towards the East Coast, because the Carolinas and the beach areas, it's quite nice. It really, really is. I mean, it's not like, you know, Clearwater, Florida, but it's a nice place. And my dad bought some land down there, which is his third wife subsequently embezzled from him. That's a whole nother last dream. But if you're going to be available, you know, at that time, I want to be in that area. There's a possibility also. I do have a customer. My biggest customer actually is in Ohio, and don't know what's going on with them, you know, with their availability. But hey, I wouldn't be opposed to driving up there and hanging out with those guys. They've been great. They have been excellent with us. So what I was going to do. Oh, so anyway, so you guys were planning a trip to the Wilmington, North Carolina area anyway. Is that it? And so you're going to plan a stop along the way, on the way there or back? Okay. Well, my sister lives, you know, in the Greensboro area, just north. But Wilmington, if you're familiar with that area, you know, and it's if you look on the map, it's a big curving coastline. You know, if you're in Wilmington, the thing is the proximity of all those other places like Myrtle Beach and Carolina Beach, and you know, all those things are very close together. I mean, relatively speaking, they're close together. I know that sounds ridiculous. Given the scale, the size of the United States, Wilmington is relatively close to all those other places. So it should be, oh, wow. Okay. Well, all right, I'm going to make sure I have, you know, U.S. phone numbers. So I'm just going to make sure that that you have my U.S. phone numbers, so you can. I don't want you calling, you know, some Taiwan number or something. So I don't have to depend on a SIM card. I have a voice over IP system for the United States, and I have stable phone numbers that I've had for, you know, since 2008. So I will give you. I'll give you a toll-free number, so no matter, you know, what you're calling on, it's okay, and we'll definitely hook up somehow, somewhere. Like to meet Mr. Grayson. Would be fantastic. Of course, I want to meet the rest of your family too. Yeah, that'd be amazing. And we could, depending on how shy you are, you know, we could set up the camera, do a live stream. I think that'd be awesome. But I think it would be so much. It would be so amazing, you know, if we could hook up with Coco, her husband, and you know, anybody else who might happen to be in the area or want to stop by. Yeah, so I would be willing to go to the Wilmington area, you know, and then hook up with everybody there. So it's just gonna have to take a little bit of planning, and unfortunately, sometimes stuff happens, and then, you know, I've been in situations where I was going to do this, I was going to do this, I was going to do this, and I got to the place, and then it wasn't possible. So you have to realize that may be the case. But where your parents live down there, and obviously you're familiar with it, so I didn't know that. That's cool. That's cool. Mid-August, that'll be fantastic, because we'll be leaving on the 24th. So yeah, cool. I may try to buy a guitar in the States and bring it back, because you have to pay for the luggage, but it just depends, because this amplifier, I'm not sure I'm going to get back. May have to do it UPS or something, but if I bring the guitar with me on the plane, the import duty will be a lot less. Uh-oh, Grayson fractured, his ankle the other day. Ooh, it's getting a cast for 6 weeks. Ooh. Hey, Double J. No, my wife is not. She's not a U.S. citizen. So she's got to do the, the visa-free kind of thing. No, doesn't need a visa. She needs to apply. Taiwan has visa-free status with the U.S., but you have to do an online registration for it. I don't know why they do that. It's stupid. Yeah, it's visa-free, but you still have to go through a process. See, visa-free for me means I go to Japan, they see my passport, visa-free, I get 90 days landing. U.S. people come here, same deal. If my wife shows up in the United States without doing this pre-registration crap, she gets turned around and sent away. I don't think it's really visa-free, but yeah, she doesn't. In other words, she doesn't have to go to MIT, stand in line, pay a bunch of money, and get a physical thing with a stamp on it or whatever, and approval. She just has to go online, input her information, and then I guess I forget. You print out something, got a barcode or something, and then when you land, you present that. I have the TSA. This is I'm going to tell you, I'm getting a headache thinking about it. It's such a hassle in the United States to do anything. They make it even though they don't even have outgoing, they don't have outgoing immigration. They don't have outgoing customs. It's just still just a pain in the neck. Yeah, so I got the TSA, actually not, I'm sorry, it's not, it's the, what do they call it now? Homeland Security, Border Control, Border Protection, I don't know, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know what they call it. The alphabet soup agency that's responsible for this has an app. So while you're on the plane, you can say, how many people are coming? How much money worth of goods are we bringing in and declaring and all that stuff? So supposedly you do that I don't know what they expect you to do. You can't do it very far in advance. You're supposed to do it the plane touches down, you're supposed to start doing it, and then by the time you pull up to the gate, you press send or something. I don't know. Anyway, it has instructions, and so I got this app to try to make it simpler. But here's the thing. Airline specification in the United States is that for international flights, you have to have a minimum of a 2-hour space between, when you land and when you take off to give you time to go through immigration and then pass through customs. And we have to, our luggage is checked through, but we have to actually exit, get our luggage, go through don't get me started. There's no appropriate adjective that I can think of for their blankety blank security checks, which are a pain in the neck. I gotta take my shoes off. I gotta take my belt off. My pants will fall down. I have to hold them up. Everything electronic has to be taken out. It's just what are you doing? It's just nobody else does this, Anyway, it's such a hassle. I like going to Thailand. It's easy. It makes sense. I like going to Indonesia, places like that. So I'm not even going to bring my drone because of the draconian laws and stuff. It's just, but I'm going there to see my family. So I'm staying positive about that. I'm also going to buy some clothes there because obviously they fit. They got MJ sizes, but yeah. I hope that the 2-hour interval is enough time, because if there's a huge line in immigration, see, my wife can't go through the U.S. citizen line. Phoenix and I can breeze through there. But what we're going to do is we're going to stand in the non-citizen line to go through with, her mom. And actually, we've been talking about this. We may not do that. We may go ahead of her just so we can get a hold of the luggage, because if there's a huge line, it might take longer. She might actually miss the flight. And the thrash that we had in Xiamen Airport, you guys have no idea. I was making Apple Watch voice memos, just trashing the airport. You know, we show up there in Xiamen. We bought the tickets weeks ahead of time. They assign us the seats. We're a family of 3. They don't even put us together. I got really indignant. I said, you know we're family. You know, I'm talking in Chinese. You know we're together. Why you give my daughter, she's 11 years old, 10 years old then, why you give her a seat over here? We're her parents. And they just look at it and just go, "Mei Banfa," which means it can't be solved. Because of what I call communist complacency. People in these countries, they just go, why doesn't she be a citizen too? Why would she? What's the advantage of being a US citizen? My wife owns a business. The minute she becomes a US citizen, she never has to set foot in the United States, and instantly she owes taxes for the rest of her life on a business to a country where she doesn't live. That doesn't make sense. My daughter's a citizen because of birth. This is the first time that she's ever gone there. We're, like it or not, we're Taiwanese. That's just how it is, you know. We don't ever think about the States. We don't, you know, I don't have any holdings. I've got nothing. I don't own a broom and a dustpan in the United States. The only thing I got is this amplifier because Ray gave it to me. That's it. I have no, if it wasn't for my siblings who want to meet my daughter, and you know she's getting older, there would be no reason for me to go there. That's it. I mean, that's what it, you know, really, you have to look at your life and you have to look at what makes sense. And if you're going to live in a country, you should become a citizen of that country. That's just my opinion. I mean, when I was in the States, people all around me were complaining because the Cambodian people next door were speaking Cambodian in their yard, and they were going to the Cambodian store like, why don't they speak American? This ignorant stuff, you know. I know what they're saying. Why don't they integrate? So I've integrated too. So no, I did not apply for my daughter to be a citizen. You don't understand. My daughter acquired citizenship at birth. What I did was registered an overseas birth with the counselor. That's what it's called. She does not have a birth certificate. She has a record of overseas birth. They make it very, very clear. See, here's the deal. If you have a child that is a US citizen by birth and you don't register the birth, that will present some major problems for you and possibly legal problems for you later. I actually didn't want to because I didn't think it mattered. It doesn't matter. And I don't really actually want that government or any other government to know my business. But I read the law, and it is an actual requirement for me to register her birth before 1 year. So you're not applying for citizenship, you are registering the birth. Yeah, and it's interesting because in order for me to do that, I had to prove that I had been in the United States a certain number of years. And so my daughter eventually will get married and have kids. Because she's a citizen, her children would be citizens by birth. But here's the difference. If she doesn't spend the minimum amount of time, then what will happen is they will not register her offspring as US citizens. This prevents large colonies of overseas Americans that have never been to the States. Which country in Africa? All right, Bella, it's interesting. I mean, the word is not applied, it's registered, because you apply for the passport. That may be what you mean. But you're granted citizenship based on either some kind of entitlement, something's bestowed or at birth, or through naturalization. You could technically say that you applied for naturalization, but yeah, it's a big process. Probably Ethiopia. Okay, yeah. Ethiopia doesn't have a whole lot of, if it's Ethiopia, they don't have a lot of clout. You know, what do I mean? That their passport doesn't, you know, not a lot of countries will allow an Ethiopian passport, you know, without special visa or something like that. But the Taiwan passport is the term that's used is powerful. It's kind of funny. I don't really see, I know what they mean, but like most of the European Union passports, U.S. passport, you know, they're powerful, meaning that, you know, with that passport you can enter so many countries, and Taiwan's considered one of the more powerful passports. There's something like 265 countries, I think. It's interesting because Taiwan citizens can go places visa-free, you know, with just their passport, that Chinese citizens can't go. It's kind of funny. That's right, yeah, that's right. I don't know why that is, you know, but there's more Indians coming to Taiwan. I think Taiwan has opened up a lot more to Indians. I think I don't know what the bar is. I don't know what the requirement is. I just know that in the news, there's lots of talk about Indian and Taiwan cooperation on business, economics, and security. And there's way more Indians here than there were even 5 years ago. And they're all excellent. They're high quality people. They're all masters, PhD, highly educated. And yeah, and they are greatly contributing to our society here. So, you know, that's what you want, right? When you want people to come and come legally and you know, contribute to society, and they are. So yeah, that makes total sense. But it's hard in Taiwan because the thing is, because of, all right, I'm not political. I don't care about politics. I don't take sides. I don't make political comments. I'm just stating what I know to be true. People who are smarter than me say that the system should be overhauled. But this is kind of a holdover, you know, from after World War II. If you want to become a citizen of Taiwan, you have to renounce your previous citizenships, unless you're Chinese, which, to anybody who knows anything about the current political situation, seems probably backwards, but that's not for me to say. So, yeah, well, that's what they do. Yep, that's not unusual at all. Of course, they want to, you know, person can lie. You don't never know what's in somebody's heart, but yeah, that's what they do. So now this is interesting because Focus Taiwan, you know, the the news site Focus Taiwan is really great. If you want to know what's going on in Taiwan, just check out Focus Taiwan. But there's a basketball player. I don't know where he's from. I think the U.S. Tall white guy. Yeah, they just gave him they just gave him Taiwan citizenship so he could play basketball on the team. So he's a naturalized Taiwan citizen. So he's been here for 3 years. I've been here for 20. Now he's gonna play basketball. He's gonna burn out. 5 years from now, he's gonna be gone. But Taiwan will award citizenship to people who meet certain criteria. But the criteria, like everything else in Asia, is based on looks. It's based on potential. Like somebody with a PhD can get a gold card, but they don't have to do anything. See, I don't have a PhD, but I bring millions into the economy every year. How much money have I brought into Taiwan in 17 years? A lot. Well, they won't offer me citizenship. If I want to become a citizen of Taiwan, I have to renounce my U.S. citizenship. Ah, okay. He's saying only Indians can't hold two passports. One acquires other citizenship. They got to renounce the Indian citizenship. It's not allowed. Not Ethiopian. Oh. Okay. Hang on. Oh, sorry. It was double J59 that said Ethiopia. My apologies. I read the comment, but I didn't connect it with the username. Thank you. Yep. So he's in. I want to make sure I see this. Johannesburg, Joburg. 8th generation Jewish, African. Oh, that's a long family history. That's cool. Because my friend Tony's 9th generation Hakas. That's great. If you got like a long family history somewhere, that's cool. Yeah, so I don't want to conflagrate these comments. No. It's on me, bro. Don't worry. So. Oh, I see. That's okay. Don't worry about it. It's all on me. Well, J-Boy, what you were saying was interesting because I didn't know this, but Thai men are not allowed to renounce their citizenship by the Thai government. Thai government will not actually issue a certificate of loss of citizenship. They won't accept it. But I do know some Thai men who've married here and have acquired Taiwan citizenship because Taiwan understands that they're not allowed to renounce their citizenship. But if I want to become Taiwanese, which I do, I'm going to have to renounce my U.S. citizenship, which I'm probably going to. But here's the kicker, okay? The U.S. is bleeding citizens. More U.S. citizens are leaving the United States and never coming back than ever before. They're tired of it. They're fed up with it. Okay? Whatever reason, I'm not going to make any comments. That's what's happening. The U.S. State Department raised, this is about 4 years ago, to try to stem the hemorrhaging, they raised the fee from $400 US to $2,500 US. Now, get this. If I want to become a Taiwan citizen, say I fully qualify, I met all the requirements, even for the education, even for like the language proficiency, I met all the requirements. All I have to do is go to the household registration office, fill out 2 forms. I mean, a 2-page form is what I'm saying. Fill out a 2-page form, pay them the equivalent of $35 US, and I get a Taiwan ID. I have 1 year from that point to renounce my citizenship of whatever country it was, that I hold. If I want to renounce my U.S. citizenship, I got to go to AIT and I have to explain to them why I want to leave the greatest country in the world. And I got to pay $2,500 for the privilege of doing it. And it's their job to try to talk me out of it. It's crazy, And then you can't just go there and do it once. You have to make an appointment. They, videotape you and they review it at State Department and they try to figure out if you're trying to do it because you want to avoid taxation or all these other things. They're just looking for the worst possible scenario and make it tough on you, And this is what you have to go through, but people do it. I know quite a number of U.S. citizens in Taiwan who have renounced, and they just, they're Taiwanese. It's just how it is. So it is weird. It is weird, and yeah, Bella, I don't blame you for wanting to make that perfectly clear. There's a huge difference between those two countries. So everybody's cool. But yeah, the other thing though too is J-Boy, there are things that you could do to disqualify. You know, this goes for every country. Every country has rules, and if their citizens do certain things, they can lose their citizenship. Like, for example, with the United States, if a U.S. citizen were to join a foreign military, it's not exactly automatic, but you probably would lose your citizenship. There are certain acts of course, treason, things like that, you know, naturally, of course. But, you know, I don't want to, you know, I don't hate the USA. I don't have anything against it. I just want, you know, I like Taiwan. I like living here, right? So here's the thing. If I renounce my U.S. citizenship, right? I'm old. I'm getting Social Security. I get a 30% hit from that. They take 30% out because I'm a foreign citizen now. So there isn't any financial incentive for me to do it. They make it really hard, make it really tough on us to do it. So, Really? Well, that's interesting. Now, the United States can strip a person of citizenship. And I did hear an interesting case the other day, and I'll have to think about it because I want to make sure I don't speak out of turn. There was, a United States citizen renounced his U.S. citizenship, acquired citizenship in another country, became a naturalized citizen of the other country, did something so bad that the new country wants to get rid of them, and I read that they were going to deport that person to the United States. And I'm like, well, how does that work? Could you deport, because you're not, you know, you're not a citizen there anymore, right? So, yeah, I just want to make it really clear that when I go to AIT to talk to them about renouncing my citizenship, they're going to ask me why I want to do it. And the answer is I don't want to do it. I want Taiwan citizenship, and this is what they require. And given the fact that it costs $2,500 US to do it, given the fact that it's going to cost me 30% off of my Social Security until I die, why would I do it? You know, unless I had to, right? So. Wow, that's so weird. You can't, but I bet a lot of Indians do it. They just don't go back to India, you know. I don't know why they don't do that. Now here's the other thing too, which is interesting. If you already have Taiwan citizenship, it's perfectly fine to have as many citizenships in other countries as you want. And this actually came out during the election that a lot of the opposition parties that they themselves and all their kids have like U.S. passports and stuff, you know, because anyway. Yeah, so let's just say for sake of argument, okay, I renounce my U.S. citizenship, I become a citizen of Taiwan, and let's just say that I'm crazy, I'm out of my mind, and I'm rich, which none of those apply to me. Well, maybe the crazy does. But I spend $500,000 and I buy citizenship from St. Kitts and Nevis. I can have that if I have my Taiwan citizenship first. Crazy. Crazy. But if you do it the other way around, then you got to give it up, unless you're Chinese. A lot of expats in Taiwan are really upset. If you look on Twitter and Facebook about this basketball guy, you know, that he's been here 3 years and they're going to give him citizenship. A lot of expats are saying, man, we're so tired of this crap. One guy saying, I've been here 35 years. I own a business here, you know. So they should just give this guy citizenship. He doesn't want to give up his citizenship where he was born, you know. And if you're an American, it's going to end up costing you. They make it really difficult and hard on you. I think they want to punish you. That's what I mean, that's what it seems like. So, really. Holy cow. The law says if an Indian has another country's citizenship, they can't hide it. They have to surrender their passport and renounce citizenship. Otherwise, it's illegal. They have to renounce it, though. That's interesting. What if they just sent the passport back and didn't say anything? I wonder if the Indian government would give them like a certificate of loss of citizenship. This is interesting discussion. Yeah, I object though to the fact that there's hostility on the part of the government and also with some citizens. I mean, if you even talk about renouncing U.S. citizenship, people, I don't know, sometimes they're really like militant about it. I don't know why. You should be able to do whatever you want, live whatever you want. It's just, I mean, and I really don't care what other people do. I don't care. Want to live here, want to live there. Okay, there's a form to fill out. Okay, so I just wonder what would happen if you just mailed the passport back and said, yeah, I got U.S. citizenship. You mailed the passport back and you didn't do the renunciation. I wonder what would happen. That'd be really interesting to see. But I know many expats here from the U.S. and many that have been here a lot longer than I have. They got families, businesses, their kids grown up. Their kids grown up, got married here, you know. They've not renounced their citizenship, and they're upset that they can't be naturalized citizens because we walk down the street and everybody goes, oh, look, Nikan Wagwan. And they always call us foreigners all the time. Foreigner, 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 foreigner. And even if you're a citizen, there's one guy that's naturalized, and he was sitting in a restaurant, and some woman comes in with her kid to eat, and he's like, oh, look, it's a foreigner. And he says, I'm not foreigner, I'm Taiwanese. And the lady came over to his table to start trouble. She said, why'd you lie to my son? He says, what do you mean? Why'd you lie to my son and didn't tell him you're Taiwanese? And he threw his ID down. And she said, oh, well, that doesn't mean anything. You weren't born here. And he says, okay, was Ma Ying-jeou, that's the president before Tsai Ing-wen, is he Taiwanese? She said, yeah. And he said, well, he was born in Hong Kong. And everybody started laughing. So she just gloomily went back to her table and sat down and ate her noodles and didn't say anything. But that's kind of the mentality here, so crazy. Yeah, not like India's short of people, that's true. Yeah. Well, I gotta tell you, I've about had it with this world's governments anyway. I'm about done because it's just, man does not have the capability or the right. Mankind, humankind, does not have the right to rule itself, nor the ability. I mean, look where we are. Well, we have like 7,500, 8,000 years of recorded history, and this is what we got. I mean, we're talking about racism. We're talking about stupid identity politics. I mean, really? After all this time, when you can't get your act together? What are you talking about? This is like, never gonna happen. Not under human rule, so. That's why I am a theocrat. I'm not a Democrat, I'm a theocrat. I believe in God rule, because I believe that's the only person that's qualified and the only person that's incorruptible. So basic human rights not guaranteed, right? Yep, that's the way it is. But I have, get this, I'm in Taichung, and I am actually about an hour and a half away from home, and I have a major dental appointment tomorrow morning at 10:30. So guess what I'm going to be doing about 0700? Drinking coffee with one hand and my other hand on the steering wheel. I'm going to be heading out. So I'm going to have to sign off. Bella, thank you. And J-Boy, Rob, and Matthew, and Mike too. Thanks everybody for joining. I really appreciate it. But I'm going to do the cutout. And Rob was here, and I'm going to talk to him later in the week. And hopefully he and I will be able to do a live stream maybe on Thursday. That'd be great, because we've got this amazing bunker under a banyan tree that's at nighttime is just going to look crazy. So don't kill the dentist. No. I'm actually I've had a lot of work done on my front teeth, and I have broken them several times. I've broken the repair work, so I'm just going to go ahead and get some. I'm going to replace them with crowns. Is what I'm going to do. You know, better material and so forth. Because in the late night group, I've shown pictures like I'll be eating a piece of chicken, just off the bone, nothing special, and I'll somehow or another just cut something and boom, and I'm like, spit out a chip. I'm tired of it. So yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So no, he's really good. This is the guy that did the occlusal spring and the occlusal leveling, and it's helped my stability overall. So it's pretty cool. So we're going to sign off and say good evening and Saijin, one on to everyone. And let me go ahead and go to the DJI app and tell everyone that we're going to, let me see. Okay, here we go. 1 hour and 60 minutes. We're going to end this live stream in just a moment. So I want to say thank you so much for joining. We'll see you next time on The Real Taiwan. And this transmission ends now.